From the culture of the American South, where roots hold stories, comes a natural deodorant inspired by generations of wisdom. Introducing Rootwork, the all-natural foundational Black American-based deodorant infused with the magic of High John the Conqueror root. Our unique blend enriched with this legendary root offers 24-hour protection, rooted in the power of nature. Embrace this deodorant that celebrates culture, history, and your well-being. Unlock the magic of Rootwork today. Experience the pure essence of nature. Visit rootworkstyle.com and make the switch to a healthier cultural choice.
Let's get Robert in here. Let's get Robert. Let's get Mr. Robert. Mr. Robert, hop on, sir.
Hey, what's going on, Tariq? How you doing?
I'm good, Robert. How
I'm doing good. I think the guy you were talking about was Manute Bol.
That's right. Right.
Yeah, he was from the Sudan, and he was allegedly probably 10 years older than who he was supposed to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, onto that, they had cases in Canada as well. A couple of years ago, there was a guy who looked like he was 40, and he was claiming to be like 18, 19. But
Yeah.
I've actually played. I played pro in Europe, so I lived in France, played in Spain and in Italy, and there are a lot of African kids who are actually born there, and they're actually born in Europe, so they can verify like their paperwork. But you got some NBA guys like Serge Ibaka or who are like I've had people tell me like they're actually older than who they are, as far as like their birth certificate and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I also got a question to ask you as well, if you don't mind.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I just recently started self-publishing, and I know that when you first started your books, were you published with the main publisher? I think you said you were with Penguin previously.
Yeah, when I got started, my first big selling book, it was a small publisher out of Chicago who put it out. It was a book called The Art of Mackin, and they put it out, and the book blew up. And when it blew up, that's when the major publishers started hitting me up. Then I got a deal with Simon and Schuster, and then I got another book deal with Penguin. So the big boys started coming once they saw we were selling books independently. But you can.
Would you give me some advice to, like, as far as, because right now I've just been publishing like on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, other online bookstores. Is there any like, as far as like how did you get your books to be so widely known? Was it through the publisher, or did you do special marketing and things of that nature?
Yeah, well, I did. It was a lot of just street promotion. What really got my book, the Art of Mac, and what blew it up was that it got very popular on the streets. The publisher I had, they were very good at getting the book to street vendors in New York and in Chicago. So the streets had it popping. Also, they would send the books to prisons.
Gotcha.
They had a connection sending books to jail. And people underestimate, man, what happens in jail. A lot of stuff is dictated on the street comes out of the prison system.
Right.
They have an ear to the streets really heavier than a lot of people that's out here on the outside. They know a lot of stuff that's going on, and they're connected with a lot of people, and they communicate with a lot of people, even on the inside. So that market is very underestimated. The jail market.
Yeah, I've actually reached out to them because my book, my first book that I've written was an anger management book, right? So I wanted to I was trying to find a way how I can get it inside of these jails and these prisons, and it's just a lot of runaround and stuff like that. Did your publisher get your books in there, or did you physically talk to somebody?
The publisher did. And what's interesting now, after years later, in some prisons, my book's actually banned in certain prisons now. They got me on the banned list in some prisons because they don't want people in jail reading stuff by folks who are too influential, because they think, in jail, these people reading from somebody, and all of these people are reading this one person. This one person might write something that triggers this jail, and some shit might pop off. So, but I think there's reading lists you can get, or vendors lists you can get, that will show you how to get your book on lists to get into the prison system. So you can kind of Google that. Also, get this book called um, The Literary Marketplace.
Literary
There's a big,
marketplace.
it's like a Bible of, yeah, the Literary Marketplace. That's the Bible of the publishing world. The Literary Marketplace. Get that, and that's going to point you in the right direction. Thank you so much, brother. But yeah, people really underestimate the prison audience, because if anybody's going to read a book, it's dudes in jail. They're going to read books because they got the time to read them, and then they'll get the message out and tell you what they read, and they'll promote that, and they'll promote it to the people on the outside. A lot of people really underestimate that. That's why so many hustlers and street dudes knew about my book, and when they got out, because remember, people are going in and out of jail. You hear about something in jail, and then you take it to the streets. So the streets, I had a big grassroots following, and then the grassroots following got big and big and big, and then I started doing mainstream television. So then it just blew up from there. Then I started doing MTV stuff and VH1 stuff. So that's what it is. Co-ops,
Coops.
hop on. Coops, okay. Coops, okay.
Hey, peace,
All
power, and
right.
reparations, family. Thank you for having me up. I'm tapping in from the town. Real quick, I put in a note in your comments. I've been really sounding the alarm that our Black farmers have some money on the table. The government isn't really publishing this, but the long and short of it is the USDA, the government USDA, has a history of discriminating against the farmers. And when Biden came in, he made a big whoop-de-doo about, he was going to help the farmers. And then the white farmers sued and, just reverse discrimination, all this long story. Anyway, there's money on the table now, and they have less than 30 days to claim it. So I just wanted to bring it to our family here. If you know a farmer, if, most of us come from the deep South. We have family from the South. Our roots are in the South. So somebody knows somebody who knows somebody. Please get the word out. Our brother farmer, Dr. John Boyd, is here on X. He's the president of the National Black Farmers Association, and he and his wife are doing their best to go to all of the states in the deep South and the Black Belt, trying to get the word out. But he's only one person. 2.2 billion with the B dollars that they can claim, and it's cash money only for Black American farmers. So I just want to,
Okay.
that's major, because they feed
Okay.
us and we need them to feed us. So we need to make sure that they get their bag so that, they can do what they do. So I just want to put that out while the crowd is here.
Thank you so much, beloved.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, let's look into that, family. Yes, let's get that information to our brothers and sisters who are Black farmers out here. Let's absolutely get that information to them. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Man, man, man. But we are in here. How many folks we got in here? And everybody need to be going to hiddenhistorymuseum.com. What's up, brother Marcel? I see you. Yes, indeed. Let's get we got a lot of folks in here. Let's get let me see. Let's get Ramses. Whoops, what I do, Ramsey? Hold on, Ramsey. Oops. I don't know what I did, Ramsey. I was trying to put you on, and then you fell to the bottom, so I don't know what happened. All right, let's get let me see. A lot of people in here. Let's get Command Do. Didn't I have you in here before, Command Do? We'll get Command Do, then we get Ramsey. Command Do, then Ramses. All right, Command Do. All right, Command Do, where you at? All right, so let's get, while waiting on Command Do, let's get Ramses in here.
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you. What's up, Ramses?
Nothing much. I just got one question. Are you gonna have that
Yes.
the book, the Hidden Heroes book, individually sold by itself?
Yes, indeed. That will be individually sold pretty soon because a lot of people have been asking for the book by itself. So that is coming soon. We have it in a package deal right now. So that is definitely coming soon, ladies and gentlemen. And at a certain point, it will be on Amazon as well. All right. Let's get who is this? What's up? Let's get Eastsiders. Let's get Eastsiders in here. All right, Eastsiders.
I didn't want to, stop it. Hold y'all up, but I apologize for that one.
No problem, brother. Okay, people hitting the thing by mistake. All right. Let's get brother Average in here. Let's get brother Average Black American. Where's I heard Average wanted to debate the Mali guy. Where's the Mali guy? The Mali guy, where you at? The guy from Mali, hop up real quick because our sister um, Nikki said that Average wanted to debate the Mali guy real quick. The Mali guy who was here, the guy from Mali, Mansa. Where you at, Mansa? Did Mansa? Okay, I think Mansa had a Postmates order he had to deliver, so he might not be in here. He might have had to bounce. But go ahead, Average. What's
Hey,
happening?
what's up, man? How you doing, Tariq?
I'm good,
I
family.
appreciate the opportunity. Yeah, there's been so many players who have come over and lied about their age. Thon Maker comes to mind. He had a lot of upside when he was a child or a child athlete. And those few years mean everything. If you have a few years advantage, say if you're really 15 and you're playing 12-year-olds, and this kid looks 16 or 17, to be honest with you. And as somebody who used to coach basketball and has played against younger dudes, I played against a cat who was like 14 years old. He started varsity, and I had just like left high school. I could do whatever I wanted, and I was nowhere near the player that he would become. But because my body was mature, and I didn't even have his skill level, he could shoot better than me and everything, but I could just dominate him because I had a few years on him. My body had matured. This kid looks like he's in the
Right.
middle of puberty already, and these other kids he's playing with haven't had none of their first, puberty advantages in strength or athleticism or anything. And to hear this African come up here and say, "Oh, you're babbling, you're doing this," like he knows full well. There are so many examples. The brother came up here and talked about a Canadian. There was a Canadian athlete who was actually 29, but said he was 17, out here dominating. Then said, "Well, I didn't know I was 29," but somebody else knew you were 29. So what's the problem?
Right.
What's the problem? And then lastly, to
Yeah.
land my plane is this. A lot of Africans, when they cross these borders, they act like, they Pan-African as soon as they get to America. Like we all the same, we all on the boat together. But then over in Africa, another tribe that's 2 feet away from them, they can't ever be all the same and all together in Africa, 2 feet away from a different tribe. Then over here, all of a sudden, magically, we all black. And I land my plane there.
Right. Thank you so much, man. Real talk. Real talk. All right. Man, a lot of folks in here. What's up, all the lovely ladies on the bottom down there? I see y'all. Your hair looking fly in your profile pictures. I see all of y'all down there looking good. Uh, let's get let me see. I want to get some new faces in here. Some people that we have not had in here before. Some new folks. Now let's get Sophia in here. I think I didn't I have you in here before, Sophia? Sophia or Sophia? Which is it? Sophia?
How you doing?
I'm good, ma'am. How are
I'm
you?
doing good. I just want to piggyback. Not piggyback, but I want to bring up. I don't know if you talked about that movie, Leaving the World, or that movie on Netflix.
Yeah, I talked about that yesterday and today. I just talked about it about 30 minutes ago.
Okay. So I'm a little irritated with the fact of if somebody's going to like tank this country, it's not going to be us. But they're 10 toes down worried about how we're going to advance.
Right.
It is like
That's the
I'm like, are you serious?
That's what I was telling people. That movie, there's an outside threat,
Yes.
but if you look at the movie, most of it has these little coded messages about black people here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because we have always been the constant threat. The threat is basically if the country goes down, watch out for the foundational black Americans who might take over because they have the skills, they have the history, and they have the wherewithal to rebuild and end up dominating if we're toppled by an outside force. That was the overlying message in that damn movie, man. Because that movie had so many little subliminals in there about us, and I broke it down. I talked about it earlier, but on my broadcast yesterday on YouTube, go watch that. Watch all of the breakdown, the ship pulling up and the ship named White Lion, and that's the name of the ship that came in 1619 and brought over some of the enslaved people to Virginia. The name of that ship was the White Lion. None of that stuff was a coincidence, man. A lot of heavy subliminals in that movie. Okay? So let me get one more because I ain't gonna be on here too long. I'm not gonna be here too long. So I want to get one more good one. Let's get Ezra. Ezra, hop on Ezra. Oops, what happened to you, Ezra? I added you and you disappeared. Okay, let's try it again, Ezra. Ezra, let's try it again. What's happening? Mr. Ezra.
Hello?
What's up, Ezra? Ezra? Ezra, I'm here. Can you hear us, sir? Ezra? Okay, Ezra. I don't know what happened, sir. I I think an Uber Eat order came in. We have conservative Chris, who's been desperate to get on, been trying to troll his way on, saying weird stuff, so we'll put him on. So we have conservative Chris trying to get on the broadcast. He's been trolling his little heart out trying to get on. Conservative Chris, what do you have to say, sir? Hop on, conservative Chris. Conservative Chris, are you here, sir?
Yeah, what's up, man?
I'm good, man. You've been wanting to get on. So, sir, do you have something interesting to bring to the table,
No,
sir?
I had just seen a movie that you were talking about recently, so I was just trying to figure out what your conspiracy theories on it. I heard you say that they're worried about black people being a threat, and that because we will rebuild. Do we have any examples of black people building anything now that white people would be worried about?
Yes, sir, because the minute we start building something, there's always this need to sabotage it. Every time we start on something, even our small businesses, there's a need for them to always, without any exception, work on ways to sabotage it. Now, am I telling the truth or am I being incorrect, sir?
You're incorrect. They used to do that with our ancestors and people in the past because those were more uh, qualified people to do what you're saying. They were more threatened by them, but this generation,
Oh, so
they're
when
not.
did they stop? Okay, so now that you've acknowledged that they've done it in the past with the Tulsas and places like that, and remember, some of those people are still alive. So when did these white supremacists stop doing that?
Probably in the 90s, 80s.
The 80s and the 90s. So what made them stop in the 80s and the 90s?
We started killing ourselves, killing each other. Started
Now,
selling
why did we
to our people
why did we start killing ourselves?
because we don't have the sense not to.
But how did we have the sense not to before, and then all of a sudden we didn't have the sense not to? What happened?
We were given temptations, right? So
From
like
who? From who? From who?
from whoever, I can't prove who it was, but there was
That's not
somebody
an
that
answer.
tried
You're just
something.
saying, well, that's a conspiracy. So you want to talk about conspiracies? You're just talking boogeyman stuff.
No,
Who
you're
did?
talking boogeyman. I'm talking reality.
Okay, who's the reality, sir? Where did we start killing each other, and why, and who made us do it?
No one made us do it. We had access to guns and we had access to drugs, so we decided to. Because I'm from Detroit. I'm from the hood or
We
whatever you want to call it. I
we've
know
always
what's
we've
going.
always had access to that.
Well, not the guns, because even
Yes,
when
we have.
go ahead.
Yes, we have. We've always had access to guns, sir. Yes, we have. Black folks during Jim Crow, they were tooled up. They had a whole bunch of guns. You go to it because you're not from a foundation of Black American lineage, so you don't know that.
I mean,
We,
regardless if I am or
our,
not, what
no, no,
you're
no.
saying is true.
Listen, no, 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 no. Our families always had guns. If you go to any foundational Black American's house or grandparents' house, they got a gun in the closet. All of
Okay,
them.
I'll let you
Go
have
ahead.
that. The reason we did that and we changed our behavior is because celebrityism, right, or whatever it is called, the desire to become a celebrity or to be
So
famous
that
is
made
what
people kill themselves. I mean, that makes no sense, Chris. That makes no
it
sense.
does. I explain how it does is because when you have the celebrity image, you also have the dope image, the dope man image, the pimp image, the guy with the car that has more than the people around him, like a celebrity, right? So once in the 70s when we had the funk music and this hip hop and everything, we were driving to be on TV more than to create businesses and infrastructures for our people. So once we want to be comedians like you and have the spotlight, that's when we started, our people as a whole started leaning toward a negative and destructive path. That's why it
So,
started.
so comedians make people get destructive. That makes
No,
no
it's
sense.
just one aspect. Comedians, basketball players, actors, rappers, just
That
people
makes
that
no sense.
want to be pat on by the head by white people
That
and
that
given war.
that makes no sense. We've always had Black celebrities. That didn't make people kill themselves. So
No, it wasn't always black celebrities because you would have to go in the back door. A lot of our entertainers couldn't even sleep at the hotels with the people they were doing duets with on stage. So it wasn't like that. White people did not want black people on their TVs. So it wasn't like we were always celebrities. We always had the opportunity. It simply wasn't like that. And in reality, when you talk about how white people have affected us with hip hop, in reality, I remember growing up and white people were saying they didn't want us to have that cussing and violence on the music. We fought, black people fought to have profanity and ratchet music and gangsterism in their music. White people did not want it. And then when we get it, we say, well, it's the white people's fault for giving it to us. And it's we sound like children. And I don't think you should uh, preach
okay,
that narrative.
that's a narrative that you made up. In fact, who do you think signing all of this ratchet stuff now? It's white people signing that. What are you talking about? The major
Tell- you
run
and
by
I
white
both
people.
know that
You
white people
know that white
protested
people are
against
pushing.
Okay. White people protested against black people with Luke, with the Two Live Crew, with NWA, Snoop Dogg. They kept saying, hey, this is affecting the
No,
communities. You
no,
guys
no, no,
listening
no,
to this.
no, no,
Am I
no.
right?
What? No, no. What they were really protesting, because the white supremacists, it wasn't about decency with them. That wasn't the real issue. And I got you muted because we're gonna tell the truth here. Because they, at the same time, when Luke and all that was going on, white people had Andrew Dice Clay who was saying some outrageous shit back in the 80s and 90s. They had Sam Kinison who was saying outrageous stuff. They had no problem with that. The issue they had with Luke and NWA and people like that was these guys were doing this and they were running their own record labels. They were owning the masters to their labels. That was the real problem. And they were exercising their right to say whatever they wanted to say on the label that they own, including fuck the police and F this white person that and whatever they wanted. That's what the real problem was. These dudes were controlling their masters and controlling their record labels. That was the real problem, sir. Not just the provocative sexual lyrics. Nah, that wasn't it.
I
But
mean,
go
you can say whatever you wish, right? But we got to go on
I'm
reality.
I'm saying facts, sir. I'm saying facts because I was around at the time and I saw it firsthand and I know what I'm talking about, sir. And they've always had a problem with black people owning their own labels and exerting their own power within the music industry. Going back to the 60s, they had a problem with Sam Cooke owning his own label. Many people believe that might have had something to do with him getting killed because it was known that he was getting threats running his own label. That's always been a problem with black people owning their property. Sugar Hill Records, they were being targeted for owning their own label. Whenever we start ownership, that's when the problem comes in. It ain't just the lyrics, sir. But go ahead.
Yes, and it would be a constructive conversation if I'm muted, then you speak, and then when I reply, I'm not.
No, but see, this is my platform. So it's going to flow the way I want it to flow. And it's going to, you say something, then I'm going to respond. Because what you're not going to do is a bunch of coon babble and plebiscite babble. Okay? You're not just going to say a bunch of gibberish and then change the subject to more gibberish. You say something, then I'm going to address it and correct it and then let you say what you have to say. So that's how it works when you build a platform where a lot of people are part of the platform, sir. But go ahead.
Okay, so this is the thing. In reality, you can say, well, this is what the real reason was. But the truth is, white people out of their mouths were saying this is causing crime and it's causing degeneracy in your neighborhoods. And we were saying, no, it's not causing that. We were always making arguments about the cowboy movies. We were making arguments about the Terminator movie. We're always looking at white people's behavior, even though they have their stuff together.
Name a
Huh? I'm quiet. You don't have to
name a
mute me.
black music genre. They've said that about every single black music genre we created, sir. They said that jazz creates crime. They say that the blues create crime. They say rock and roll creates crime and degeneracy. They've done that to all of our genres, sir. That's nothing new. So what are you talking about?
What I'm talking about, if you want to stay on subject,
I,
or I
I'm
know
on
it's your
subject.
platform, you don't have
I'm
to
on
listen to
subject.
what you don't have to stay on subject what I'm saying. I understand it's your platform, you can stray off subject all you want.
Sir,
But what
I
I'm
haven't
saying,
strayed off anything. I'm sticking everything you're saying. I'm addressing what you are saying. I'm addressing what you're saying, sir. But go ahead, because now, sir, you got to get to a point, because now you're just kind of babbling for attention.
so this, I just want to know if a group of people say we want to ban these lyrics. You can say it's because of ownership, but they didn't say it's because
Okay,
of
look,
ownership. They said it was because it was causing problems. Now, if we look in the future in
man.
2023,
Okay, I'm to be honest, I'm bored, man. Family, y'all, I'm bored with this dude, because you're just saying a bunch of nothing. To be honest, man. To be honest, you're boring. You're just gibberish babbling. You're not saying anything. You're just talking to hear yourself talk. You're a time wasting tether. This is time wasting tether babble. You don't really have a point. You're just going from one gibberish talking point that you done sat here and practice to another. And it's boring. And we're done with the conversation. I'm not going to bore the audience anymore. All right. That's just boring. This is one of these wannabe white supremacists. He gets into a bunch of gibberish tether babble to hear himself speak. His objective is to sit here and waste time. What you're saying is boring and it's not interesting and it's pointless. You're just saying a bunch of pointless stuff. And that and that's what it is. Let me get my brother Marcel in here. Let's get Marcel in here. Put it down. Brother Marcel, hop on, brother. I'm good, sir. How are you?
I'm doing well. That guy, you already checked him, but he talked about some when did they stop us from rebuilding? We've had to rebuild. We built the country. We've had to rebuild more than any other group. But an article just came out today about Navy Federal denying over 50 to 60% of the black applicants with good income and
Yes.
perfect credit. So there's that. But I also wanted to just clarify something real quick because Clyburn has been running around with this. He's going to try to pass this all as reparations. I heard Coops come up and say that there's money on the table for black farmers. Coops rugby, but that's absolutely not true. That money is for any farmer that has experienced discrimination by the USDA. And it was supposed to be specifically black farmers, but they did that to deliberately sabotage it because they know it had to be done by status and not race, but they made it based on race, and therefore they had to open it up to any farmer that had experienced discrimination. And right now, as we
Wow.
speak, a lot of black farmers have applied, and they're not hearing anything back. So I guarantee you, by the time this is all said and done, most of that money is going to go to quote unquote farmers of color, and it's not to get $2.2 billion in assistance. It's to get $2.2 billion in a financial census, meaning they will help work with them to get resources and things like that. They're playing a lot of word games, and I know Clyburn's going to try to make that campaign on point. So I tried to come home here to clarify that because Clyburn's already been running around saying that, and it's phony. He knows he's lying.
My man, thank you so much for clarifying that, family. And that's why things have to be lineage based. We gotta make things lineage based. We have to emphasize if there's going to be some resources allocated, it's going to be for foundational Black Americans, descendants of freedmen. We got to be very specific about delineating based on lineage, ladies and gentlemen. All right, man. Anyway, let me see. Who do we have in here? Let's get S with one saw. Let's get one saw in here. One saw or one sob. I don't know what your name is.
Oh shit, you actually added me. um,
Yeah, but well, you didn't. You wanted to get on, so what
yeah,
happened?
listen, I'm not sure exactly what point I should um make before you decide to kick me because I feel like eventually that's what you're going to do. But I want to
Before
start
I do
with
what now? What
the
happened?
FBA shit. I can't lie. Growing up, that shit did not existed. Like elementary, middle school, high school, that shit did not exist. I swear to God, it can't.
Hold on, slow down, slow down. Foundation of Black Americans always existed. So what are you
No,
talking
but
about,
that
sir?
term itself, like
Well, sir, the term African American didn't exist in popularity in the 60s, 70s. It didn't really exist until the 80s. So what's your point?
no, but you see, with African Americans, it's a complete different.
What's the difference? Because that term didn't get into popularity until 1988. So what's your point?
I mean, you just knew that I was gonna make a point.
Go ahead. You're
My,
talking. Go ahead,
my
Ubuntu. Go
point,
ahead.
right? I know for a fact now, right? It's mostly even just online. It's not even in reality because I go to school with I went to University of Maryland with African Americans and Africans. Like we get along perfectly fine. It's only online that there's this weird ass. Oh, I'm FBA, so I can't associate with Africans. Like it's so weird. Or I don't have no African like relation. I'm Choctaw. Like bro, that shit don't make no sense to me. Like, but
Now, dude, now what part of Africa is your family from? Or are you from Barbados?
no, my dad's actually black. His family is from North Carolina. My mom's West African. She's from Sierra Leone. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Why do you got what?
a lot of
Why do you
people,
have a Puerto Rican? Is that a
will
Puerto?
be like, "Oh,
Hold on,
you're
hold on.
not FBI."
Baba Tunde, slow down, Baba Tunde. Why do you have a Cuban? You have a Cuban flag, or is that a Puerto Rican flag? Why do you have a Hispanic flag in your thing?
Oh, Puerto Rican, because he's black and Puerto Rican. He's mixed.
Okay, so yeah, your tethers on both sides. So yeah, you tried to,
See, look.
but that's a tether thing. You
What is
tried to make it
this
seem,
tether? That's not
but
even.
this is what I'm saying. You're not a foundational Black American. You just tried to pretend to be a foundational Black American.
I
You're
don't
doing
pretend to be a foundational Black American. The
right. You
last
just
time,
tried
I
to
don't think you.
no Ubuntu. You just tried to make it seem like your dad was a foundational Black American and your dad is a tether. And you're trying to be a tether. You see? That's the problem. Don't start lying about your lineage
Look,
and tell me
why are you muting though? I did not want. I don't want
because,
to make. Rest in peace to his soul. He was not any of that. Tether, FBA. He did not. He did. They. A lot of African Americans did not used to use those terms. Even
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They're still foundational Black Americans. Whatever term you used, hell, back in those days we used Negro, colored. We used all types of terms, but they're still foundational Black Americans. Back in the day, they didn't use African American. My grandmother never ever in her life used the term African American, but she would be considered an African American based on today's terms. Sometimes terminologies change for the same group of people. We're the same group of people. Foundational Black Americans, we've been here. The term
I'm
is,
not arguing that. I'm not
is
arguing that. You're not listening to my point. You're
uh
not listening,
huh.
and you're muting me because it's your platform, and it's perfectly fine. I understand. You have to push the narrative. You know what I'm
There's no
saying?
narrative, just truth.
No, it is though, because I'm not wrong when I say growing up, we never had the FBA term and the like the relation that people try to use to say, "Oh, I'm not African. I'm just foundational. Like I
But
have no
those are some
African.
people.
Like I have no African relation."
Hold on.
That's what.
God damn.
That's the point I'm making. It's not like I'm trying to sit here and you get what I'm saying. Oh, belittle anyone. I respect that part of my family 100%. You get what I'm saying? There's no reason for me to disrespect. Even when Africans sometimes try to get out of line and you get what I'm saying and jump out there, I'm like, yo, you have to chill out because you don't know what black people actually go through in this country. You get what I'm saying? So it's not like I'm just saying shit just to actually start an argument. This is something that I've seen online. I'm telling you, when I went to University of Maryland, the 20-year-olds and the 20-year-olds, the young, even the way younger generations, like my sister who's like 14, they get along perfectly fine with Africans, but it's only online that people use these words as tether. Like you try to make the person feel less than you when they're actually sometimes even making a great point relating to black
Dude,
people. You get
dude,
what I'm
dude,
saying?
dude, you can't sit here and make it seem like, well, there's some people online that y'all might disagree with or whatever. That's some shit where y'all are bickering online. But let's keep it real, dude. You're from West
Okay.
Africa. Y'all got so many tribal damn differences where your family is from. It's ridiculous. So don't act like it was kumbaya over there
No,
in
it's
real
not
life.
though, but it's
All
perfectly
right,
fine
don't
for
put that
us
on
to call
us,
out this bullshit, is what I'm saying. We
nigga.
call out the tribalism bullshit in our countries as
And
well.
no, y'all don't. No,
Yes,
y'all don't
yes,
do
they
nothing about that
do. Yes, they
tribalism.
do.
Y'all
Yes, they
y'all don't.
do.
No, you don't. Y'all
And I
just
can
bounce
give you
from it.
examples. I can give you examples of it.
How?
African
What?
societies are very respectful. They are very respectful of the society and the culture that that they're trying to grow up in.
Dude, but y'all be beating the hell out of each other in them different tribes over there, dude. Let's stop
Oh
playing
my
games.
God, bro.
Dude, don't act like y'all don't be smashing on each other over there, dude. Let's
Uh,
don't play games.
and then see you doing that, y'all, and over there, like me and you are not
Yeah, that's
person.
what you doing.
Like
You up here
me
talking about
and you
what
are not
you
perceived
up
as
here.
the same
You
person in real life.
Baba Tunde, slow down, Baba Tunde, because you up here talking about what FBAs are doing and how we're so divisive and all of that. No, we ain't. Y'all just mad because we've delineated. We're like, hey, we're foundational Black American. This is our culture. We're recognizing and appreciating our culture. You're mad. We ain't mad at you.
No, but no one is not saying that. When you
You mad. You've had some individual conversations that you're trying to put on us as a whole culture. You're the one mad.
No, I'm
We,
talking about when you're rejecting the fact that you actually have African relation. Those are the FBAs
slow
that I'm
down. Slow
that
down.
I'm
Okay,
addressing,
listen.
and it seems
No,
to be
no,
a
no, no,
majority.
no, because y'all the ones
It,
got all of these
it
fucked
seems
up
to be
names.
a
No, no,
majority.
no. Y'all got these weird names for us in West Africa, in East Africa, in North Africa. You guys got all types of janky names for us over here. Akata, Jarir, Beads. You guys have all of those janky names for us. And then when we say, okay, you know what, you can have what you got going on because we're recognizing, appreciating our lineage and our culture. Hey, nigga, we're all the same. Why y'all want to delineate? You guys have been delineating against us for decades, sir. So don't put it on us. Babatunde, go ahead.
Hey, yo, Baba Tunde is crazy. At the end of the day, white boy is looking at me and you the same. So you can try
Uh-huh,
to
but you
all
ain't
this
looking
fake
at
ass
them the same.
delineating. All this
Uh-huh, but we don't look at the white boys the same.
no,
That's the
all this fake
problem.
ass because listen,
Because no, because we look at them as white supremacists, you look at them as gods. So yeah, we ain't looking at them the same. Yeah, they look at us the same, but when we see them, we see the white supremacists as an enemy. You see them as a savior and somebody to align yourselves with. And that's the problem right there, sir. Go ahead, Babatunde.
so you're saying South Africa when South Africans were standing up against their
When South Africa was doing what?
So
I
if
think
you
you
if
dropped
you had it muted, like I said, you keep trying to push the narrative for just
dude.
your part. If you're actually fair and just listen to
Dude, just because your Postmates orders are coming in and messing up your calls, don't blame me. Now, what about South Africa? What are you saying about South Africa? And you're not from South Africa. That's all the way across the continent from you. But what about South Africa? You don't want to
it
talk about
doesn't
Sierra
matter.
Leone.
You see, that's the difference. There still are people when they were standing up against white people. Like, were you calling them dogs then? Like, what are you talking
No,
about?
because we were
It's
the
not making
ones
no sense.
pushing.
We
We
stand
it
up
was
against them everywhere.
no. You go no. You're not gonna babble. Don't ask me a question and babble. With South Africa, when that was popping off, it was foundational Black Americans that were the ones helping to spread the word and fight for South Africa. It was foundational Black Americans over here, like the Gil Scott Herons, making songs like "What's the Word, Johannesburg." It was foundational Black Americans like Stevie Wonder and others going to the embassy saying to the people, if you practice apartheid against these folks, we're not going to go to your banks. We're not going to go over there and do concerts. We were putting sanctions on them on the grassroots in America as foundational Black Americans. We were stumping for Mandela. We were running around here talking about down with apartheid. We were doing that, sir. So what are you talking about?
No, as much as that's true, that's not the whole story. That's not the majority of the story. Don't try to flip the narrative as if you were actually on the ground going through the same struggles that they were. Like, come on now, make that make sense. Make
Well,
that
it
make
makes sense because
how did that
we were dealing with white supremacy over here, sir. We were dealing with the same brutal type of white supremacy, so we had a camaraderie with those brothers and sisters there. We saw what they were going through because we were going through it, and we're still going through it to a certain degree. We stood up to these white supremacists. And we're telling them, if we can stand up to the white supremacists and we're just 12%, you better stand up to them damn white supremacists and you 90%. We put some fire under that ass. We told them, get your fucking shoulders together and get them white supremacists off your back. You 90% of the population. Do something with yourself. And then they got their minds right, sir. And that's what we're trying
No,
to tell
that's
you
not
too over
true.
there in
That's
West
not true. There
Africa.
were Africans already fighting for their rights in their country. They knew what was theirs. They just didn't have the means to do it. That's all it was. That's all it was. Don't try to flip it like the Africans there didn't have their own militias. If you watch films like Sarafina, they'll actually give you a little bit of glimpse of how actually black people stood up for themselves and
But
it's
here's
not
the
just
thing with
it's
you.
not
But you
just
can't.
that
But
yeah,
don't
it's
you
not, and even that is
no
divisive.
Baba Tunda. You don't get to do that. You don't get to talk about how they stood up for themselves and y'all asses fled. Your ass is over here. So don't. I don't want to hear it. You over here with us. You over here with Black Mommy and Black Daddy. You over here with the FBA family, dude. You fled from your homeland, so you can't sit
People
here and pop your
like
collar like
statements
that.
like that. That's divisive. That's why I think you are
How is
probably
that
some type of
divisive, nigga? It's the
FBI or
truth.
CIA twat, bro.
It's the stop all that. That's tether babble. You fled.
I
Y'all
swear
hate
to God,
hearing the
see, look,
truth.
Trevor again. Like,
You
why you keep
fled,
seeing it
dude.
on those con-
Brother. You over here in Cleveland. You don't. I don't want to hear about no militias over there and your ass bounced. They defeated you, and that's a hard pill to swallow. You got defeated and ran off your homeland, sir. And now you want to come over here whining to us. We
if
didn't
if
flee.
if you get a chance, add Devil in the details. He'll cook you
We
some.
didn't flee, my
He'll,
G.
he'll cook you
And you
some
got.
more.
That's why you
All
got a
these
problem.
terms that you're using, tethers, it's no, you know exactly what you're doing.
Okay, yeah, but sir, that
I'm telling you,
all of
you
that
really are,
jealousy,
bro.
Baba.
You're FBI or CIA, some type of
Oh,
way.
that's tether babble. Now you just tether babbling, y'all, and further letting
No,
us
it's
know the.
fact. It's
No,
fact.
no, no, no. That's you just making up stuff because you don't have an argument. You tethers are good at lying. That's why we delineate from you tethers. Y'all pathological liars. Y'all just get to saying anything. You tethers lose an argument, and the first thing you do is start lying. Get your ass in your Cutlass Oldsmobile and go deliver them Postmates orders over here in the United States with foundational Black Americans. Don't tell me about the militia groups that fought and you fled, nigga. You dig? Don't be mad at us. All right? Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it's been real. Let me get up out of here. Y'all go to hiddenhistorymuseum.com. Get your tickets to join me at the Hidden History Museum tomorrow. The Hidden History Museum package is available until tonight. The sale ends tonight. Get that at hiddenhistorymuseum.com, ladies and gentlemen. Papi Akuta and Lola Bouvet to the family. Peace.